My father was born in 1926, and he lived in Vienna, not far from Freud's office. And he grew up there, pretty normal childhood as he describes it, but he did experience anti-Semitism. He would have rocks thrown at him, and he was called names. And he would be in situations that were very uncomfortable because of his Judaism. He was able to leave when he was 12 years old because his parents saw what was going on. It was at the time of Kristallnacht, 1938. So my father was 12, and my grandparents saw that it was a very dangerous place to be and had to make all kinds of arrangements to leave from Vienna. Before they even were able to get on a ship in Italy, they had to travel and go to various places to escape this situation at the time. They applied for paperwork. I know they had to get medical examinations, and the paperwork that I saw, getting passports, affidavit of support, and things like that. What my father had said was that it wasn't very many months that you could actually do that. So it was from about summer of 1938, I believe they started the process, and they left from Italy and arrived beginning of January in Los Angeles. That was because his cousin, Fritzi Massarik, was an opera singer, and she already lived in Los Angeles. Her daughter, Liesel, was part of an organization that helped people from Europe during these difficult circumstances to get established here. And her husband, Bruno Frank, is a famous author, so he was able to have the connections. And my grandparents, since they're related, were able to secure this, they called it an affidavit of support, so that they would have a place to stay and work. My grandfather worked for Warner Brothers Studios, so everything was established. My father never forgot his Judaism and was very proud of it and really wanted to pursue learning about how are the Jews surviving, because that was a big concern. So he was in charge. When you look up Fred Massarik, you'll see Jewish population studies in the late 40s. My father believes through his studies that there were more Jews because of integrated marriages, whereas everyone was saying, oh, we're losing Jews because everyone's intermarrying. But my father says, no, you're doubling them, because those children are raised Jewish as well. And so even today, they're going back and looking at his Jewish population studies from the past. And it began with things in Los Angeles, but grew to the demographics of the United States of America. My father wrote many books. One example here, Advances in Organizational Development. And I found Leadership and Organization. I found this in his box and found out that it's in Portuguese. So I was very surprised, because I don't know how many languages his books have been translated into. So that made me proud. My father, having that experience of coming from Vienna and having the experiences he did as a child, made him really appreciate being Jewish and what that means. And I'm very proud of my father's work, that he researched the Jewish population in many aspects, many different cultural aspects, to make sure that Judaism is living on in spite of the horrors of World War II. I think it's very important to have exhibitions of the horrors of World War II so that history doesn't repeat itself. And people need to be aware of what happened so they can be kind to others, knowing that there really is no reason for others to hate and hurt. I think it's very important to continue exhibits. My father, as a young child in Vienna, remembers that there were kind of like coffee houses gathering places, like the artists would meet at a certain spot, people who were interested in psychology or chemistry, and they would meet and join ideas. And those brilliant minds that were taken from us, those could have solved so many issues in our world. And I'm very sad that those lives were cut, and they did not have that time to develop those ideas into what would have been world-saving ideas.